Hi, my name is Rachel Ewens, and I'm a freelance fashion writer and the owner of AustinStyleWatch.com street fashion site. And I'm here to talk to you about how to buy 80s clothing. Now, if you're a purist and you really want to buy clothing of the era, you're going to need to go to some vintage shops. If you're going to look for 80s clothing, there are a couple of little trademarks you're going to want to look for. If you're looking at more formal or kind of business wear, one of the first things you're going to look for as an indicator of the era is shoulder pads. That was definitely the career woman, 9-to-5 kind of look of the day, was big, thick shoulders. So that's one thing you're going to want to look at to find real, authentic 80s clothing. You also might want to look for the kind of bizarre, tacky, if you will, coloring patterns. The next thing you're going to look at if you're looking for real authentic 80s clothing is things that are off the shoulder. You can find a lot of shirts cut in that ballet sort of flash dance pattern where they're cut off the shoulders, but there were things made at that time that were made off the shoulder. So looking for things that naturally have that cut of the era, it's a good indicator of 80s authenticity. The next thing we're going to look at for buying 80s are belts. You can find these new in a lot of stores nowadays. It's a look that's come back really big, but this is actually a vintage belt from the era. So looking for thick belts, and this was also a popular look a lot with the leather in the front and the elastic in the back, so it would stretch with you. And other 80s looks we want to talk about, and this is actually a little more late 90s, but looking for vintage band t-shirts. This can be everything from Billy Idol to Madonna to NKOTB. Any of the bands of the era, if you want to do a little research online and find out what popular 80s bands were, and then looking through the t-shirt section at your local Goodwill, you're sure to find some good relics from the era. And finally, leg warmers. You can get these new at a lot of places now, but again, if you're a purist and you really want to get them of the era, Goodwill again is a good place to start. Looking in the kind of sock and pantyhose section of the store, you might be able to find some vintage leg warmers. So, if you're looking to dress authentically 80s, this is how to do it.